Hey, yo everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review. And today we're going to be doing my comic load for the week, as well as news, updates, questions, answers, and everything that falls in between. I do have some stuff that I want to talk about today, as well as updates. Something of a new segment that I'm going to be putting in my videos, which is going to tie into my Twitter account that I'm starting to learn how to use. Yeah, Twitter. It's been around for a while, but I'm just starting to jump into it. If you do want to follow me on Twitter, all the information should be down below, but I'll go over that later because we're not talking about that right now. No, we want to talk about what we love to talk about, comics. And we're going to start, we always start, with just a little bit of Batman in our life. With Batman and Two-Face, issue number 24. Or Batman Robin, issue number 24. But of course, there's no Robin, so we have to have the guest star throw their name in there. This starts off a brand new story arc, which does change the Two-Face mythos a bit. I'm pretty sure most of Long Halloween still is intact, but we do get some retcons here and there. For example, what happens to Two-Face's wife, and exactly how Two-Face gets burned on his face. I will give you a little bit of spoiler. How he gets burned on his face involves this character right here in the center. That is Erin McKillen, and I hope I pronounced her name right. McKillen, yes. She is the leader of one of the crime families. Back in the past, she had a tussle with Harvey Dent, which resulted in, well, Harvey Dent becoming Two-Face, for the most part. She has left Gotham because she's been, well, for the most part, kind of scared to go back. I don't know if scared's the right word, but she's smart enough that a place that has that many psychopaths and the Batman is probably not safe for any crime family. However, she has been recalled back to Gotham by all the crime families, and after being taunted, has decided to stay. Although this does pique the interest of Batman and of Two-Face. Exactly what will go on and exactly what will go down when the crime lord had returned. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good. This is a start to what I hope will be a fantastic story arc because it is a great start. This character, who I don't know has been used before in comics, I don't think she has because I've read almost everything in Batman. I don't remember her. Maybe my memory's just going away in my old age. But great introduction to her. She makes a bang right away, ties her into Harvey Dent very nicely, and makes her a force to be reckoned with. She may not be an incredibly skilled fighter or anything like that, but she has balls and she's willing to do what needs to be done to get the job done. She's a Spitfire and she is willing to go toe to toe with Batman herself. Really, how many crime bosses do you know that will be willing to go toe to toe with Batman himself? Not many. Most of the DC superheroes don't want to go toe to toe with Batman. I really do like the portrayal of Two-Face in this, especially the opening scene where he flips the coin to see if he's going to commit suicide or not, and then he gets the heads and he's like, "Well, I guess just another day." But I really do like the direction that this comic is going. Bad. The only bad is at the end of it, it ended in a different way than I thought it was going to, and I'm curious to see how it's going to go from here. Um, But yeah, it ended kind of weird. But besides that, this was a solid issue. I really did enjoy it since I'm still going to give this a 5 out of 5. Really fun. On to the next in the Batman family, Batman Superman issue number 4, the conclusion to the first story arc of Batman Superman. We get to see why they don't remember each other at all, despite the fact this being their first meeting before the Justice League. Basically, it comes down to a test between the Batmans and the Supermans. The Batman and Superman of Earth 2 and Batman and Superman of Earth Prime, or, well, the regular DCU. And let's just say they go toe to toe with each other. Will youth and experience, or youth and treachery, beat over experience and age? You're gonna have to read and see. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good. I liked the confrontation and the bickering that went back and forth between Superman and Batman and Superman and Batman. I like the bickering between the Earth 2 counterparts and the regular universe's dynamic duo. kind of are the dynamic duo, the world's finest. I really do like the fact that Batman and Superman were fighting with each other and seeing how much differences there are between them. Just because you're older and more experienced doesn't mean you're necessarily smarter or right. But at the same time, just because you're young and ballsy doesn't mean you have a right to do what you're going to do. Lois Lane was utilized in this very nicely, and I did like how Wonder Woman made enough of an appearance that we do remember that she's there, but not too much that she oversaturates the comic. This is Batman Superman. As much as I love Wonder Woman, and I do, she's my second favorite superhero of all time, it's good that we're sticking to point that it is Batman and Superman. And everything gets tied up in a neat, nice bow. Bad is I felt as though this could have gone for one more issue. And the trickster goddess, who is, I think, Darkseid's daughter. I'm still trying to piece that together. I need to reread the Darkseid uh, Evil, Forever Evil Villain Month issue to make sure I'm correct on this. Um, she wasn't really used that much in terms of versus the Batmans and Supermans. And her logic on her conclusion, which you're going to read, is kind of silly. Um, like I said, everything's nicely and neatly wrapped up at the end of this, but maybe too nice and neatly. It's just convenient that they get their minds wiped, and I'm going to tell you now, they get their minds wiped. It's plain, flat, and simple. How else are you going to explain Batman not knowing Superman and Superman not knowing Batman and Justice League? Somehow they're going to forget, or they're lying, but I doubt they would lie. What would be the person lying? Because Superman basically chokes out Batman in Justice League issue number 2. Yes, 2. Anywho, putting all that aside, this was a really fun issue. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. I felt as though the ending could have been handled a little bit better, but the very last pages where Bruce and Clark talk to each other was really nice. I hope that they do remember their first adventure at some point. Maybe the spell or whatever was put on them eventually gets removed. I think that would be nice. But on the whole, it was a good issue and a good start to the Batman Superman series. I'm interested to see where they go from here. On to Red Hood and the Outlaws, issue number 24. The big battle between the Untitled. Is it the Untitled or the All Cast? It's the Untitled and the League of Assassins. And it's just that a big battle between them. Jason Todd apparently has something special in his head, despite the fact that everything's been basically washed out with a toothbrush. Something was put there by Dukara. Is it Dukara? Yeah. And while this is happening, Roy Harper has a little heart to heart with Cheshire, which don't know if that's a good idea, especially with their pre New 52 history. Anyways, on to the good, the bad, and whether or not you should get it. Good. There are some good action scenes in this, and in addition to that, I do think the dialogue was handled very well. In particular, with the Cheshire and the Roy Harper sections. No, they don't get it on. But it really does show that there's a deeper level and layers to Cheshire. I could almost see Cheshire being kind of like an anti-hero or anti-villain or just a good neutral character sometime down the road. Kind of like Deathstroke, who's really neutral right now. Not evil, but he's bad. Definitely bad. But I did like the talk that Cheshire and Roy Harper had. Felt very natural. It was definitely the highlight of the series. And it was cool to see the ending because someone comes back, and I won't reveal who it is, but it was cool to see that individual come back. Bad is despite the fact that there was a lot of action and some of it pretty damn impressive. I wasn't too invested in the actual fight. I felt as though there was too much build-up, and despite the fact everything was good, it didn't quite match up with the build-up itself. And the reveal at the end, while awesome, is automatically fizzled out due to the fact that we're going to 0 year after this. The momentum is completely stopped. I don't blame the issue at all for this, but it doesn't help because you see this person come back, which I had a guess that they were coming back. And you go, oh, awesome, they returned. To be continued in 0 year. Oh, okay, whatever. Putting that aside, solid issue, enjoy it. 3 out of 5. Moving on to Batwoman issue number 24. Shit gets real. Yeah, that's the actual name of it. Shit gets real. It is Batwoman versus Batman. Skill versus treachery. Who is going to win? Basically, Batwoman is going all out, releasing villains on Gotham to attract Batman. And it's not until she releases Bane that Batman actually pops out. All his rogue alley, not his rogue alley, his Bat family comes out, which is interesting to know because if you look at all the Bat family that shows up, when the Birds of Prey show up, it has Starling and Katana on it, and then if you look at Batwing, it's David rather than Luke. So this must be set in the past. This must be set early on the DC New 52, unless there's some kind of screw up by the artist or the writer. But hey, whatever. Who cares? So, anyways, is Batwoman versus Batman, and Batwoman takes a let's just say some advice from Bane and uses treachery to fight Batman, but she quickly realizes this is this is Batman. He's not someone that you take lightly, and even if you get punched by him, it hurts. Like one punch pretty much knocked her out. She recovered, and she continued to fight, but she realized I can't get hit by this guy because he knows what he's doing. Who will come out on top? You're gonna have to wait and see. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good. I do like the moral gray area um, that is Cat Kane in this. That is Batwoman. She is the bad guy of this comic. She just, I mean, I love Batwoman, but she's doing very negative things. I understand her intentions are good for your sister, disconnect herself from the DEO, all that kind of stuff. But importantly, she is releasing bad guys on Gotham. I don't care if Bane gave his word that he's going to hold his punches. I'm pretty sure Bane is lying. I do not trust the Gotham psychopaths. Whether it is, and I will go through a quick list, whether it is Mad Hatter, whether it's Tweedledee and Tweedledum, Riddler, or Poison Ivy. I just do not trust these people one bit. Hey, Joker, can you do me a favor and just cause a little bit of a distraction, but not enough that you're going to kill people? No, the Joker's going to kill people. So there's a big moral gray area in this, which I do like. I think it takes the tone what Batwoman is that, yeah, she's a good guy, but she's willing to do bad stuff to get the job done. So, awesome. The fight between her and Batman, well, short because it is a to be continued, was really fun. And the tension and drama is high. Bad, none. Batwoman, like I said, found her voice a while ago as a comic, and it does a fantastic job at that. I'm really interested to see what the outcome's going to be, and I'm interested to see where the comic's going to go now that the creative team is no longer going to be on it. Moving on to Birds of Prey, issue number 24. Oh, yeah, 5 out of 5, I said that. Basically, in this, we get a little bit more of Black Canary and her backstory and what exactly is going on with her and Regulus. And more importantly, whose side is Condor on. In the previous few issues, we've been having a lot of Black Canary and a lot of Condor. This is really, despite the fact that Black Canary takes up a good third of the issue, it's more of Batgirl and Strikes and them acting and reacting to what's happening. We get a reveal on who Regulus is and where he comes from and exactly what his deal is. And then finally, how that ties into Team 7, because this is again tying into Team 7. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good. I feel as though Christine Marks has a great voice for all the characters. I really do like reading these characters talk. Black Canary to Barbara Gordon to, well, I can't really say Strikes because Strikes doesn't talk. She just kind of stands there. I don't even think she can sign language. She just draws stuff in the ground. But I feel as though there's a good voice for this. Even Regulus and Condor, I'm interested to see what they say when they are saying things. So really good voice for the characters. The art is nice, and I really do like the Batgirl parts. The only bad I can really say about this is I feel as though Regulus's backstory was a little silly. He, I can't tell you what it is. It's kind of cool. There's a reveal on who Regulus is, but how he came into being was a little weird. Putting that aside, it was a pretty solid issue. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't quite say it's fantastic, but I am still enjoying it. 3.5 out of 5. Moving on to Batman 66. Batman Goes to London. It is, 66 number 4. Not Batman issue 66. Batman 66, issue number 4. Batman goes to London, and while in London, he deals with the Clock King and the Mad Hatter. Will Batman be able to save London and save the royal jewels? Crown jewels. That's it, the crown jewels. Uh, we see. I'm not going to reveal too much of the stories. Of the Mad Hatter one was the better of the two stories. I really did like the feel and tone of this. It is doing what it's been doing for the past 4 issues. It's been a fun interpretation of the campy 60s Batman TV show. So I recommend picking it up. I'm not going to give it an overall score of it. It's not the best issue so far, but it's still pretty damn good. So just pick it up. It's like Batman and Little Gotham. It's something fun that you can just read on the side. It's something I recommend at the end of reading all your comics as a detox. G.I. Joe issue 195. So the Joes are trying to get shit going with this hostage situation, and they are going all out for this. But nothing is going right for the Joes. Every time they try to do something, something goes wrong. Poor Duke. Poor Duke. Without Snake Eyes and Scarlet, he's like totally lost on what to do. In addition to that, as was revealed in the previous issue, Cobra is using the Blue Ninja's technology to, well, basically increase their bats and make them more powerful. A lot of stuff happens in this issue that I don't want to reveal because some of them are kind of shocking. One of the Joes may not live. In addition to that, Cobra Commander makes an appearance at the end, and he's a badass and hilarious while doing it. Good. I felt as though there was a lot of build-up, and the build-up was fun in this. Really nice, tight dialogue for the build-up. Some shocker moments too, and I really did like Cobra Commander at the end. Bad, not enough of Cobra. I do like the Joes going off and taking on villains and real life terrorists and all that stuff. That's cool. That's fun. But I do feel as though the Cobra should have more of a prolific role in this. In addition to that, while the build up was really fun, it's not until the final few issues that we get any deliverance. I do feel as though the next issue is going to be better than this one, but I still enjoyed it. I will give it 3 out of 5. Green Lantern, New Guardians, issue number 24. Most importantly, Lights Out, issue number 3. Hey, Kyle Rayner, you just get everything, don't you? Kyle Rayner is basically going after the entities, while Hal Jordan believes that we really should go to the Red Lanterns and get some help from Guy. So, putting all that aside, let's Hal, you go do what you need to. Go over there. Let's focus on Kyle in this, because it is really just Kyle's book. In this, he gets possessed by the entities, and the entities have a master plan, and they believe that they should actually help out Relic. And at the end of it, whether or not they're right to do so is up in the air. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. I did like to see the entities in here possess Kyle. It was pretty badass. And I do like the fact that there was references made to the two missing entities, which is Parallax and the Butcher. Parallax being in Sinestro. The Butcher, I forget where the Butcher went. He's in someone. Um, where did the Butcher go? Anyways, so Parallax and the Butcher, I do like the fact that they were referencing this also, because they are, of course, missing. I also do like the Guardians in this. They were pretty badass towards the end, and there is a shock of a cliffhanger. Bad is, it's not really bad, but whereas the last issue of the Lights Out Green Lantern Corps felt like a second chapter, this felt like a tie-in. Does that make sense? Like everyone was in the last issue. Jon Stewart was the star. Don't get me wrong, but we had just as much as Jon Stewart as Hal as in Carol as in Kyle. And this is primarily Kyle, and it feels like it deals less with Relic and more with just what's happening with the entities. Not bad, but I feel as though it feels more like a tie-in than actually part 3. Putting that aside, good issue, 4 out of 5. For Ever Evil, Rogues Rebellion issue 1 of 6. So the Rogues return to is it Keystone? No, it's Star City. Which city? Because they have the gem cities, but I forget which one got trashed by Gorilla Grodd. I should actually look at this up. Hmm. Oh well, that's pretty bad that I don't remember which city was it. It was one of the two cities that got trashed. Oh, it was Central. Why did I say Star City? What's Star City? Oh, Star City's Green Arrow. I should edit that out because that was a big brain fart. No, Central City. I meant to say that. But anyways, they return to Central City. The place is trashed. The crime syndicate has just absolutely devastated it. Gorilla Grodd devastated it. And what do the rogues do? They stick together. They make sure that Captain Cole's sister is okay, and they actually help out the cops. Because see, the interesting thing about the rogues is they're bad, but they're not evil. No, they don't kill. They don't want world conquest. They like to steal. That's their thing. It's all about the job to them. And there's actual moral code with them. Um, and that's basically the gist. It leaves off on a cliffhanger with one of the, yeah, actually two of the crime syndicates showing up to kind of ruin the party. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good. This is a great usage of the rogues. Brian Bucciolato, the Boosh, is writing it, so he has a good voice for them. I do like a lot of the stuff that has been used with the rogues is continuing in this. Their code of honor, many of the plot lines and storylines that have been dealt with them. It just feels like a great continuation of their character arcs. Everyone gets good FaceTime in this. I don't feel as though there's one rogue that doesn't get FaceTime. It is well written and well paced. Bad, none. 5 out of 5. Much better than the Arkham War one, which came out. But I'm not saying Arkham War was bad. The Arkham War was pretty good, but Rogue's Rebellion has been better of the tie-ins. I think the only other one I have left to get is the Argus one, and that's the only other tie-in that's left. But that was really good. Pick it up. Trinity Sin, Phantom Stranger issue number 12. So Phantom Stranger has been erased from existence. Or has he? Phantom Stranger is back. He is no longer erased from existence, but why is he back, and why does the choices that he made show that he is a different man, for ill or for good? His spirit guide, who could be God, but could be someone else, um, tells basically Phantom Stranger some interesting facts about what's happened to Phantom Stranger and why he was brought back, despite the fact that he had tried to go into heaven, and if he did, he would have been obliterated. The Sin Eater returns, and the Sin Eater is doing everything he can to destroy Phantom Stranger's life, or at least the life that he did live. And Terrence 13 and that kid whose name I forget, but apparently he's going to be a more major character in this story, has shown up. Chris, that was his name. Chris, the kid that died that Phantom Stranger brought back from heaven. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good, everything. This comic has really started to shine more and more. When I first started reading Phantom Stranger at issue 0, I said, it's okay. And it wasn't until I want to say around issue 5 that it started getting good and good and good. And this continues to get good. This is very dialogue heavy, and it's so good dialogue heavy. Very little happens until the end in terms of action, but you don't need it because it's all dialogue and it's really well done dialogue. The Phantom Stranger is starting to become more of a complex character and has a lot more livelihood to him than he's ever had before the New 52. I do like the Sin Eater. I think he's going to be a great nemesis for Phantom Stranger. And I do like the conversations that he has with not only Chris and Terrence 13, but also with his spirit guide, which we'll just call the dog with the dog. I really do like that stuff. Really good dialogue stuff. And Chris is turning out to be an interesting secondary character for the book. Bad, like I said, none. This book is just so good, and I feel as though it's a book not a lot of people read, and I think you're missing out on it. 5 out of 5. On to the other Trinity of Sin, Pandora, issue number 4. So Pandora gets teleported to Earth 3 and sees how much of a shithole it is. Yeah, it's kind of a shithole. Almost like if John Cena ruled the world. That's exactly what happens in Earth 3. And she decides, hey, let's get the skull and let's put it back together and let's see if we can fix shit. I can kind of understand putting the skull back together, but I mean, why? Uh, she doesn't really give enough of a reason. I don't know if she wants to teleport people somewhere. Maybe she wants to throw the crime syndicate back into Earth 3. In any case, she decides that she wants to put the skull back together. And while this is going on, she needs to get to the crime syndicate. But how is she going to get to the crime syndicate? Well, she goes to her good old pal Vandal Savage, who is kind of pissed at her right now because he wants to be evil. He wants to be irredeemable, and well, Pandora showed him that there's a little bit of a little spark of humanity and good in him, and he didn't take too kindly to that. Pandora versus Vandal Savage. Who will come out on top, and will Pandora be able to take on the crime syndicate? Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. If this is supposed to be a tie-in, and it is a tie-in, it's a pretty good one. I think it handles the source material that's being used for Forever You well. We get to see the outsider in this as well as the rest of the Crime Syndicate, but I think the outsider, in particular, was nice to see him and Pandora come against each other. The fight between her and Vandal Savage is very nicely done too. Bad is Pandora really doesn't give much of a plan, and for the first one, two, three, four, five, 6, 7 pages, I'm not that interested in this book until she actually goes up against Vandal Savage, isn't where it starts getting really good. And I don't know really what the spiel is with Martian Manhunter of Earth 3. Yeah, Martian Manhunter of Earth 3 shows up. And I can't tell what's his deal. He looks like part robot, too. Any, anywho, it's not part robot, but he kind of looks part robot. He looks exactly like Martian Manhunter, only a little evil. That's it. But anyways, putting that aside, a bad is like I said, it's just sad, and I think I've been going over the bad, haven't I? It's like one of my only days off, so I got to sleep in. Is that nothing really gets started until the fight between her and Vandal Savage, which is an awesome fight, but nothing really gets started until then. Um, but I mean, that's the only bad I can really say. I'm really, really interested to see where this book is gonna go from here. 4 out of 5. Pandora, pick it up. Animal Man, issue number 24. So, Brother Blood has made it into the red and has teamed up with one of the totems who have gone bad. And he has become the new champion. Buddy Baker needs to get in there and save his daughter because, well, she is screwed, my friends. Screwed. I don't care if you're the prodigal's daughter who is supposed to be the messiah of the red. If you're only 5 years old and you got Brother Blood on your ass, you better get your shit together because he's going to destroy you. It's Brother Blood. And the new 52, Brother Blood is like 1,000 times more powerful than he was in pre-New 52. Pre-New 52, Jeff John's Brother Blood was a piece of shit little kid that was going through puberty. And the original Brother Blood was kind of badass, but not as badass as his new 52 version. Will Animal Man be able to save his daughter, or will Brother Blood be able to send his troops out into the real world? Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good, I can't talk about this enough. It's just such a good comic. The stuff going on with Brother Blood and the Red, I think he's a great villain for Animal Man. The ending is chilling, and there is a really nice scene between him and his wife, Ellen, and it's really a touching scene. I mean, it's Animal Man. This has been great all the way through. Pick it up, 5 out of 5. Supergirl issue number 24. I'm going to say this right here. This is also going to be a 5 out of 5. You know why? Because this was a good issue. The shocker of who Cyborg Superman was at the end of last issue. Boy, does it get things steamrolling in this issue. Um, Basically, what this feel is, and for those of you that haven't read it yet, I'm not going to spoil who Cyborg Superman really is, but Cyborg Superman needs to go back to what he was to bring Supergirl back and to also take on Brainiac. And he does so. And it's Cyborg Superman versus Brainiac and Supergirl being a badass. That's all you need to know. Like I said, this is a 5 out of 5. What I really do like, and Michael Allen Nelson Michael Allen Nelson, the writer. Let me just make sure if he's the only writer or not. You have done a very good job at giving not only good voice for Supergirl, but also just really turning things on its head with Cyborg Superman. Good utilization of Krypton, good utilization of Brainiac. Supergirl's good. Vibe, issue number 8. Justice League of America's Vibe. I hope you guys are liking Vibe because you won't be seeing it much longer. From what I heard, Vibe, Katana, and Green Team have been canned. 2 of which I read. And I can't say I feel bad because I was going to have to drop comics anyway, so this makes it easy with me without making it feel like I'm a douchebag for dropping a comic. For Vibe, I feel bad about. For Katana, not so much, because I think Katana's better off in someone else's hands. Although I've been enjoying Katana, some parts, not so much. I don't mind her title getting canned. Vibes, though, on the other hand, I am a little upset about because Vibe has been a good DC Universe comic. Taking characters from the DC Universe, teaming them up with Vibe, or throwing them against them. And it's been a nice journey for the character. This is basically him traveling to different worlds, one of which is Amethyst's world. Poor Amethyst. Every comic she gets in gets canceled, except for Justice League Dark. But you get what I'm saying. So he jumps back and forth through worlds, and he goes to Amethyst's world, and then he eventually goes to the world where his brother apparently was at, and learns out a grim truth about his brother. Uh, will he be able to take on his brother and defeat him? Or will he not have the heart to do such a thing? A good, bad, whether or not you should get it. The ending was good. I do like the fact that Amethyst showed up in this. I like the dialogue and I like the character progression and vibe. Bad is the ending was a little meh and didn't really care for it. Why did I not care for it? Because it was like a reveal on one of the characters and it wasn't that big of a reveal, nor did I care. And number 2 is it's like this rebellion group going up against Vi's brother, and I just don't care about any of them. But on that side, it's a decent issue, 3 out of 3. 3 out of 5. 3 out of 3. Last 2 issues of the month, not the month, the week. Wonder Woman issue number 24. Wonder Woman is now the new god of war because she killed Ares. It was okay. He was cool with it. That sounded really weird. But anyways, Wonder Woman is the new god of war because she killed Ares, and Apollo wants the god of war to sit down with the rest of the gods and discuss what to do with the firstborn. Of course, Wonder Woman's not liking this shit. And that's the basic gist of the issue. Wonder Woman dealing with the fact that she's now a god. She is the goddess of war. But not all the gods like this. There is one god in particular that dislikes it so much that would like to remove the mantle of God of War from Wonder Woman, take it for themselves. Who is that god, and exactly what will happen with the firstborn? Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. I'm not even going to do a good, bad, whether or not you should get it. It's Wonder Woman. This comic has been fantastic from the start. I don't think I gave a score lower than a 4. 5 out of 5. Pick this up. It's just that good. It's just that good. And finally, we end off with Justice League of America, issue number 8, For Every Evil's Tie-In. So Justice League of America is going to eventually become Justice League of Canada, but until then, it's going to focus on Martian Manhunter and Stargirl, who are the only 2 members of the Justice Leagues, not counting Catwoman and Batman, who survived whatever horrible fate the Justice League has suffered. The only 2 members that have kind of broken free of their fates. Does that make sense? These are the surviving members of the Justice League so far. Something happened to the Justice League. Basically, they're sent through their layers of hell, and Martian Manhunter is in there with Stargirl. They wake up. Martian Manhunter goes through each layer of hell with different people. Stargirl finds an exit, and he goes through the layer of hell for like Shazam and for Wonder Woman and for Superman, all different layers that are supposed to keep the characters there. So methinks that the Crime Syndicate did something to screw with the Justice League's minds, and that's why they're not coming after them. Which makes me think, why don't the Crime Syndicate just kill them in their sleep? Like, really, if you have Superman absolutely passed out, not waking up and you're Ultraman, why not just like kill him right there? Why not be like, oh, okay, I guess Superman's passed out. No way is he ever gonna come back and foil my plans. No, no, Ultraman. I saw you snorting cocaine, kryptonite. It was kryptonite cocaine. How about you go take some of that, put that on Superman, snort it off him, and then fire blast him with your heat vision while you're doing it, because he'll be weak enough that it'll kill him. No, of course, the Crime Syndicate is too cocky and conceited, and they kind of let the Justice League be part of their fate. But Stargirl and Martian Manhunter are able to get out. Exactly how Batman, Catwoman, and Cyborg avoided this fate, I'm very curious to see, which will probably be explained in the next Forever Evil issue, #3. That's neither here nor there. Let's talk about this issue. Good. I do like that it was Martian Manhunter and Stargirl that get the focus. Martian Manhunter being the badass he is, I always like seeing him utilized well in the comic. And Stargirl, I feel as though out of all the Justice League members, really has been getting the least amount of development. Her and Simon Baz. But I do like the fact that those are the two characters that were picked. It was kind of nice to see a little bit of an explanation on where the Justice League went, if not for the fact that it was a small explanation, but it was at least a little bit of an explanation. And the art was good. I mean, it's Doug Mankey. He's been on Green Lantern. He's been on Justice League. He's been on a lot of things. And the art is good. A bad? I don't know. I mean, I figured something a little bit cooler would have been done to the Justice League, other than the fact that they have to deal with their troubling dark sides and get stuck in their own hells in their minds. I mean, it works with the fact that it's Martian Manhunter, but it's still kind of weird. Um, and not enough of an explanation was given. In saying that, though, this is still a solid issue and a really good cover. A really good one. All the non-surviving members of the Justice League's little items are there. Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Superman, Flashes, and Green Lanterns. Although, to be fair, Hal Jordan wasn't part of the fight. But in any case, 3 out of 5. Good issue. On to my picks of the week. Boom and boom. Number 3 goes to Batman and Two-Face issue number 24. Introduction of a cool new character, interesting twist to the backstory of Two-Face, great start to a new story arc. Number 2 goes to Phantom Stranger issue number 12. I really do like the character development of this character and the fact that he actually has character. But I do like the layers that are being put on him, and most importantly, the nicely done dialogue. It was tough what the last one was going to be. I wanted to put Wonder Woman in the top 3, but unfortunately, she got beat out. Not unfortunately, it's good to see competition. She got beat out by these comics and Batwoman, issue number 24, which is my Andrewcutter pick of the week. The end of this run with Freddie Williams, J.H. Williams. Why did I say Freddie Williams? Scooby Doo. It's coming to an end, but it's coming to end with a bang. Really enjoy what's happening. Really enjoy what's going. Pick it up. So those are my picks of the week and my comic load for the week. And one comic just went flying. Really good week. A lot of 5 out of 5s. I feel as though comics are hitting their strides a lot more recently. Not that many bad comics going around. As for news and updates, so might as well. I'll get into that in a bit. What's going on with me right now, other than working a lot? Video game wise, I've been playing Pokemon X and Y. Playing Pokemon X really. Haven't been playing as much, but the new super trading stuff really good because I EV trade my Charmander, max out his special attack and his speed already. So when he becomes Charizard, Y is going to be awesome. I'm at the second gym though, so I'm taking my time. No rush. I'm pretty sure seventh generation isn't going to come out for a couple years, so no rush. But I have been playing a lot of the Wind Waker HD. Really enjoying it. I just finished the Wind Temple, so right now I have to do the Triforce quest. After the Triforce quest, I can beat the game, so it's good. I got the Swift Sale, and really that game, and I was talking to my friends, when they saw the Swift Sale, my friend Tom went, wow, so this really should be Legend of Zelda Swift Sale. because that's awesome. Defeats the purpose of the Wind Waker, and it's just awesome. But really, I have thoroughly been enjoying the game. I intend to beat it this week because at the end of this week, Batman Arkham Origins comes out. And did you see the TV spot where it goes through Batman's life? Really cool. Looking forward to that game. And Batman, Zelda, not Batman, Zelda Link Between Worlds is going to be coming out soon. So Pokemon is just going to stop while I play that game. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to go back into Pokemon. Interesting fact, I've got into a new card game. Um, Real quickly, for those of you that don't know, I love card games. I love collecting and I love playing them. My first card game was the Pokemon card game, which I played when it first came out, but I stopped after my Charizard card was stolen. When I was 14, I started playing Magic the Gathering, and I was obsessed with Magic, and I was really good at it too. I was able to beat a Power 9 deck with a null deck. How? I'll tell you someday. But I really did like Magic from 14 to 19, those years of my lives, those 5, 6 years, I played the games thoroughly all the time. I put so much money into it, and I read the books, and I loved everything about it. But I had everything from Alpha all the way up to Ravnica. I enjoyed the game a lot, but it just got too much for me. I sold all but my main deck and a couple of my rares. In between that time, I also played the Digimon card game, which I sucked at, but I did enjoy collecting it. Still couldn't get a hold of Magna Angemon's card. And I also played Yu-Gi-Oh on the side because most of my friends played it, so I played it just to see what it was. It wasn't bad in the early goings, but here the game has just become so convoluted and bad now. And then after, just in the recent years, I've gotten back into Pokemon and have been thoroughly enjoying that game. But I find as though, and there's a point to this, I find as though in my older years, I enjoy casual games. I pick up some packs here, I pick up a starter deck here, I get some stuff online, and then I make my own deck, and then I play, and then I enjoy, and that's about it. I don't get overly involved with it because, well, why? I think it's more fun to jump back and forth through card games. So I have a new card game that I have been starting to play. I haven't started playing with any of my friends yet because I just been so busy, but I've been collecting a lot of them, and I have liked it so far from a collecting standpoint. But also the battle system is very nice, but it's simplistic, but it's good for casual. Is the Power Ranger card game? Yes, the Power Ranger action card game. This card game is a lot more different from any of the other card games, and I've got a lot of them. Particularly, I just want to show off some of the fun cards I have. Of course, I'm going to have some Red Rangers, but powered up Red Ranger. I have a couple stuff, but the funniest cards I have is at the back, and I got these in a promotional pack, is not just one Ranger card, but the Forever Red Ranger. But I collected a lot of rares. Just recently today, I got a pack and I got the White Ranger in it, White Mighty Morphin. But it goes throughout the whole Power Rangers series, and it's let me just show you. So Samurai to Mega Force, and everything in between. Um, it's really a unique game because what else do I have? I have some pretty rare cards in here. It doesn't matter. Anyways, it's a unique game because with most games you have like creature cards, like in Magic it's a creature card, and Yu-Gi-Oh is a monster card, and Pokemon is a Pokemon card. Then you have what powers them, an energy card or mana cards. And then you have power-up cards like enchantments or magic cards, equip cards, or item cards. And then you have like spell cards or instants or trap cards or quick play cards or stuff along that lines, or trainer cards. With this game, there's only Power Rangers. Like if you look through all these cards from Red Mighty Morphin, and if I select a random thing, it's going to be a creature card of some sort. So there are various different, almost all the Rangers you could ever conceive in all different forms. Like as you can see, there's a regular Red Ranger, there's a Red Ranger with his sword, there's powered up Red Ranger. But the thing that makes this game so unique is there's no auxiliary cards, there's no status cards, there's no equipment cards. I dropped one. It is just the creatures, and the whole concept is to destroy the other person's deck. Damage is discarding. It's really quite cool. And the game could be like 5 minutes long if you play it well. But there's different levels to battling too. So it's kind of cool new game. Giving it a try. Maybe in a couple of months or so I'll jump on to the next. Put a binder together of these, but I'm enjoying it. Okay. What else was I gonna say? Those things are getting canceled. Let's move on. So, for those of you that don't know, I have a Twitter account, and the new thing that I'm going to be doing, a new segment, which I'll start on this video, is I'm going to be doing a versus segment. Every week, I'm going to select, and I'm going to have you guys participate also, two fictional characters from either comic books, movies, or whatever, and put them together. I'm going to try to keep it within comic books. But I want to do a versus thing because a lot of things me and my friends get into talk about is who would win. Phoenix or the Flash? Or who would win? Batman or Captain America? Or who would win? Snake Eyes or Leonardo from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Or who would win? Luke Skywalker or I don't know, Wolverine. I mean, it's interesting stuff. And no, it's not like Death Battle or like the Comic Vine fights or anything like that. It's just random stuff that I think would be fun. And I think it would add another nice new segment for us to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post what the fights are going to be on my Twitter account each week. So this week I already posted what the fight is going to be. And I'll tell you that in just a moment. But if you want to participate in this, or if there's a particular fight you want to see, if you say, "Hey, Andrew, I want to see Swamp Thing versus Captain Planet," throw it out there. Actually, that would be a really cool versus fight. Swamp Thing versus Captain Planet. I should just do that today. I won't because I already have one set up that I set through my Twitter account. If you guys want to know what my Twitter account, you can go down there. It's Andrew Shelton at Andrewcutter Inc. Or you can just look at the description below. All my information is there. Follow me. It's a good way for us just to keep in touch and just to go back and forth, and it's a cool way just to interact. I do right now. I'm gonna make it different, but right now I do a video a week. I'm gonna try to make it so I do 3 videos a week. We'll see how that goes. Still doing the moving in process, but it's some other way that us as comic book brothers and sisters can interact with each other. So, what is the fight this week? Well, you're gonna have to allow me to pause my video for a second because I'm coming to that 1 hour mark. I want to give myself enough buffer time. So, 1 sec. Okay. So the Andrewcutter Throwdown Royale, let's not call it that. The Andrewcutter Battle Royale of the week is between DC Comics, Lady Shiva, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder. So how does this work is I'm going to do an analysis of their powers and abilities and see how they will fight against each other and do a percentage because anyone can beat anyone. You put She-Hulk versus Wonder Woman. I'm sure Wonder Woman could kick the shit out of She-Hulk, but I'm pretty sure She-Hulk could kick the shit out of Wonder Woman. But what's the percentage on who would win? I'm going to do percentages because they're a lot more fun. That way I can say, hey, it's still possible to see Donatello beat the shit out of, I don't know, Lex Luthor, but there's a good chance Lex Luthor would win too. So, one Lady Shiva versus the Shredder, and we're going to use Shredder. Well, we'll use Shredder throughout the ages, but more importantly, we're going to look at the IDW's current Shredder. Lady Shiva, let's start with her first. Lady Shiva is a master assassin, absolutely a complete badass. Period. Before the New 52, and I think even still in the New 52, she was tied, a three-way tie for the best martial artist, best hand-to-hand combatant in the DC universe. That three-way tie was between her, Richard Dragon, and Batman. Whether or not that still is established with Richard Dragon in the New 52, I don't know. He's made one appearance and he really hasn't done anything except for be a dick. Batman's still considered the best hand-to-hand combatant in the DC universe, but Lady Shiva is right next to him. Lady Shiva is incredibly deadly. She has no remorse and she goes for the kill right away. She has various different weapons that she can use to her advantage. from sais to throwing stars to various different knives, daggers, katanas. She tends to float more towards the melee weapons rather than firearms and throwing weapons, although she has been known to throwing stars from time to time. Actually, a recent issue of Rather Than the Outlaws has her killing a bunch of man-bats with throwing stars, but Lady Shiva likes to get her hands dirty. That's her thing. Such a powerful and deadly warrior. Her main advantage in this fight is going to be her skill. It is going to be her tipping point that might make her the winner. Shredder. Shredder from TMNT, also an incredible fighter, and just because she may or may not have the advantage when it comes down to fighting skill does not mean the Shredder doesn't have fighting skill. Shredder was able to take on all four of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, proficient fighters in their own right, as well as Splinter, and come out smelling like roses. Shredder is an incredible fighter, but his main advantages is the fact that one, he has longevity and healing capabilities through his ritualistic magic ooze bath that he took. In addition to that, increased speed, strength, stamina, and durability. Shredder can take a kicking and keep on kicking. What's it, take a licking, keep on kicking? Well, he can take a kicking too and keep on kicking. Shredder is an incredibly, massively powerful enemy. He has so much strength and ability behind him that it makes him a dominating threat. Again, all four turtles had to go up against him. Even then, that wasn't enough. And almost in all the confrontations with the Shredders, with the exception of the 90s cartoon, let's not look at that. But if you look at the 2000s cartoon to the movies, Shredder has always been a dominant villain. His main advantage in this fight is going to be his raw strength, his speed, and the possibility that he has a healing, enhanced healing, and immortality. Shredder, I mean, he's been around for thousands of years. Granted, he used magic and mojo to do it. Can he die? If I had to say out of the two of them, whom I would give the advantage to, or who I would give the percentile to, the battle would go like this. I would say 60% of it goes to Shredder, 40% of it goes to Lady Shiva. While I do think Lady Shiva is a more skilled combatant and is a lot better of a fighter, there's two things that keeps Lady Shiva from winning this. One is the fact that Shredder has enhanced speed, strength, durability, and possibility of being immortal. Putting that aside, let's just put that aside for a second. Second thing is, though Lady Shiva is as skilled as, say, Batman, the reason why Batman would have an advantage in this is Lady Shiva usually doesn't go up against powerhouses like the Shredder or superhumans. She usually kills normal street level individuals. That's who she fights. Plain, flat, and simple. She can go toe to toe with someone like Nightwing and be able to hold her own and defeat Nightwing without a doubt. I mean, she's better of a fighter than Nightwing. But if she went up against someone like Bane, would she be able to hold her own? Because again, he has that X factor, he has that strength, he has that superpower that she doesn't. So I think her unpreparedness to take on someone that has increased speed, strength, durability, superpowers like that, or any kind of power, gives Shredder a slight bit of an advantage, especially if is they know nothing about each other. So my say is it goes 60% Shredder, 40% Shiva. And although Shiva's my girl and I love her to death, I would give it to Shredder. So if you guys have a particular fight you would like me to announce and say who I would say is a winner, you can post it down in the comments below, and I will on my Twitter account say later on this week, probably on Wednesday, on Comic Day, what the fight is going to be. So, in saying that, we can jump right into the questions and answers, shall we? Let me pull up the screen here and we will get things going. For those of you that are new to my videos or know nothing about this segment, is basically what I do is I take all the questions and comments from my previous video last week of my comic loads and then discuss them, answer them, go back and forth with you guys. It's really my way of answering the questions in the comments. But if you have a specific thing you want to say, get off your chest, or if you have a question for me, this is the best way to do it because I go through all the comments or almost all the comments. If someone replies to someone else, maybe I won't go through it. But yeah, this is what I do. It's fun for me. I don't know if it's fun for you guys. We have a lot less questions and comics to go from here, but That's fine because uh, time. And anyways, let's start things off with Nick Lenz. Hey Andrew, three questions for you. It's always three, isn't it? But that's cool. I like that. First, before you start the villain. What would you? Excuse me. First, before you start, the villain that you did not know from Captain America 7, Volume 7, number 12, is called Nuke, a crazy guy with an American flag on his face. He made his first appearance in Daredevil 230 in May 1986 and was created by Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli. First, oh, well, thank you for letting me know that. I can't believe I forgot his name because I should have, but he still reminds me of Captain Hatred from, or is it Captain Hatred from Venture Brothers? At least how he speaks. First, why is Katana's skin green? Second, did you know that She-Hulk is getting a new series? Third, did you know Stephanie Brown is coming back in a series called Batman Eternal? For your first question, the reason why her skin is gray is because she just puts like paint on it. It's like war paint, if anything. If Katana took off her mask, then this top hat would be not covered with gray. She does it to conceal herself. It's probably also traditional with um, Japanese warrior tradition. I'm not 100% sure why she does it other than to conceal herself, but it's actually makeup. Um, and that's with the new 52 stuff. She never had the makeup before the new 52, but hey, that's what happens. Did I know She-Hulk was getting a new series? No, but thank you for telling me that because I'm probably going to pick it up. I like She-Hulk a lot. She's one of my favorite Marvel characters. Thank you very much, Nick. I'm glad. Third, did I know Stephanie Brown was coming back in a series called Batman Eternal? I did. I think I commented on that last week. I should be interested to see what they're going to do with Spoiler. I'm really, really interested because I heard they're going to do some fun stuff. Nick Lenz, one other thing. The name of the Dark Elf is called Melekneth the Accursed, who first made his appearance in Thor 344 in June 1984 and was created by Walt Simonson. Are you interested in the all new Invaders that are coming out soon and is going to be written by James Robinson? First, thank you for clarifying the Dark Elf. He hasn't really gripped me as a villain yet, but hey, it's good to know. I'm still learning Marvel mythos. DC, you can ask me any question, I'll get it. Marvel, I'm still learning, but thank you for telling me that. As for the all new Invaders, even though my boy James Robinson, who is one of my favorite writers, is going to be on it, I have no interest in it. I'm slimming down my comic load. So, I mean, I know nothing about the Invaders. I care less about the Invaders. It's cool James Robinson's on it, but it's not enough. Moving on, X Valos. In your opinion, what are the five best dressed Power Rangers costume wise? Um, the best for me. The number one is the Mighty Morphin. Maybe it's nostalgia, maybe it's what I've grown up with, but they had great helmets, great usage of color patterns, and they had great weapons. Aesthetically, the Mighty Morphings look great. For me, the second best were uh, Lightspeed Rescue. And again, it's a nice throwback to Power Rangers Mighty Morphin with the arrangement of the colors and good usage of the white on the costumes. I did like the helmets a lot. They weren't quite as annoying as Zio's, which Zio had a great costume except for the helmet. I think Lightspeed Rescue had it down flat very well. That's my second favorite. Space had a really good costume. Other than the checkered pattern of colors on the chest, which still wasn't bad, looked good. The only thing is the weapons I didn't care for. But other than that, the costumes looked really nice. Who else did good costumes? Wild Force, even though the season was so-so, the costumes were really nice. I didn't like the sash across the chest, but the helmets were really cool. And I did like the claws, and I did like the boots and the gloves. So I did like those. And then the last costumes. So number five on my list of the best Power Ranger costumes. I I'm almost gonna look through the card game real quick just to think, because uh, yeah, that's a good one. I'm not sure. The Mega Force ones aren't looking that bad coming out now, but actually, you know what? I like the Turbo costumes. Turbo was a horrible series. had its up and downs, but the costumes were nice. I did like the costumes. So number one is Mighty Morphin, then Lightspeed Rescue, then Space, then Wild Force, then Turbo. Um, okay. Uh, Joshua Lustal. I can't pronounce your last name. I'm sorry. June. Why did I say Joshua? Juan. I'm sorry if I'm horrible with pronunciation. Congratulations on your marriage. My questions are good modern Superman stories that pre that are pre New 52. Thank you very much for the congratulations. And this was replied to by Jim Thompson, who recommended Brainiac, Birthright, Red Sun, All Star Superman, and Superman Fall series seasons were all good stories. Yeah, they are good stories. Out of those, I think Brainiac's probably the best. I would recommend Brainiac, Last Sun, Superman, All Star Superman. Um, Superman Man of Steel series was really good. John Byrne stuff. Some of my favorite is Superman, so I recommend getting that. And some of the '90s Superman isn't bad either. Like the Death of Superman series was fun, if not flawed, was still fun. So those are some stuff to go on. Blue. Ooh, oh, I almost said something bad. Blue Lantern of 2814. Top 10 favorite Pokemon. Okay. Number one is Charizard, without a doubt. Number two is Mew. Number three is Zapdos. Number four is Pidgeot. Number five is Gengar. Number six is Lapras. Number seven is Crobat. Number eight is Ninetales. Number nine is Charmander. Number 10 is going to go to. It's tough because there are tons of Pokemon I would like, but number 10 would probably go to. I like Metagross a lot, but I don't know if he would be a number 10. I like Metagross a lot. I like. Let's go with Meta. No, let's not go with Metagross. Number 10 would probably go with. I'm trying to think of my teams. What was on my show? This is bad because I I know my number 10 is on my Johto team, but I forget what my Johto team is. Give me a second while I look this up. This is not good. My memory is slipping. Um, I do love Crobat a lot, and I did put him on the list, but I'm just remembering how much I love Crobat. Probably Arbok. I do like Arbok a lot too. Even though he sucks, and he does, I do like Arbok a lot. Um, yeah, let's go with Arbok. I do love Arbok a lot. I'm gonna put him on there. Let's go Arbok. Those are my top 10 favorite Pokemon. You're surprised it's not Charmeleon on there. I like Charmeleon, but he's nowhere as good as Charmander and Charizard. Um, Fallout, Fallout 3 Freak 1, thank you for the Twitter link. Now I'm proud follower. Thank you very much. And Andrew Miguel here. Mikkel here, I wanted to personally thank you for your videos. It really make my day. Greetings from Germany. Have a great day. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Tom Polak, and I hope I pronounced that right. Are you getting Lego Marvel Superheroes or Arkham Origins at all? I want both, especially after playing Lego Batman 2, but can only afford the collector's edition of Arkham Origins for my PS4 comes. Who are your top 10 lanterns from the emotional spectrum, including the only briefly a lantern? Oh, these are all top 10s you guys want me to do later. Oh, I did the Pokemon just right now. I'll save the emotional top 10 spectrum thing for one of my videos because that I need to think out. As for Lego Marvel Heroes or Arkham Origins, I'm picking up Arkham Origins. I'm not picking up Lego Marvel Heroes. The only Lego games I have is Batman and Batman 2. And I beat Batman, but I haven't played Batman 2 yet. Uh, Evil Mastermind. Hey, Andrew, where do you think the Joker is? I don't know, getting his face put back on by Hush. Hey, that would be a great way to bring Hush back and a great way to put Joker's face back on. Where's Joker? Probably just licking his wounds. Uh, I don't think it matters where Joker is. He's going to make a return. Scott Snyder said he's going to use him again, but still, I don't know, and I don't think it really cares. He's probably just lurking around underneath Gotham somewhere in the caves. Joshua Hayes, my question for the week: what do you think of the new team coming up on Detective Comics? The team from Flash is coming over. Yes, the Booch and Manipul are coming over. I'm interested to see what they do, and I'm more interested to see how the art is. It's going to be actually awesome. It's a bit of sweetness because we are losing John Layman and Jason Fabok, who have just been crushing it and doing such a great job on the comic. But it's good to switch things up from time to time. As for the gloves, I see your purple gloves in issue number 1 and flash forward or flashback to the dystopia Gotham. But it is a lovely nod to all the way down to the way they emulate Detective Comics number 27's cover. Yeah, they did do that, didn't they? I love to hear what you think of my complete thoughts on this issue on my channel. I'll double check that out after I do this video because I need to get all dollied up, and I'll put your video on while I do that. Tefkanja, I hope I said that right. Andrew, I'm a new viewer and I love your videos. I know you're a primary DC reader, but have you tried out any of the new Valiant comics? The new 52 brought me back in the comics, but Valiant is what has me most excited these days. I think you would enjoy Exo Men of War, Shadow Men, and Harbinger. I have been tempted to pick it up Exo Man of War, but I think at this point right now, if I was to get into Valiant, I'd probably do the trades. The reason being is I just don't have time to go and find and collect all the issues. They definitely look fun, and Robin Vendetti, I think, is actually doing both Green Lantern and Exo Man of War. And when I hear him on the Comic Vine podcast, it sounds pretty good, but I think it's just I haven't had a chance or time to do it. Maybe I'll try in the future with omnibuses and trades, but we'll get to that point. We'll get to it. But I would definitely be interested. The Dork Knight. What are your thoughts on Justice League of America being rebranded Justice League of Canada and Jeff Lemire taking over the book? Jeff Lemire taking over the book is fantastic. He's been doing a great job on everything. No problem with that. As for being rebranded Justice League Canada, I'm sure it's just a temporary thing. Don't worry about it. Interesting. Top 10 New 52 graphic novels. I'll take that into account. That's from Pudgy Popo 11. And Bojack 235. Hey Andrew, love your videos. My question is, who do you think the top 10 hand-to-hand combatants in New 52 is? And I will also consider that for my top 10 videos. So those are the questions for the week. Oh, so that you know. No, never mind. I'll wait on that. But who do you want me to do in my next Andrewcutter Battle Royale versus? You can post your comments down there, and I will post who I will think on my Twitter account this week. Other than that, nothing else to say. I'm going to end this video here. Thank you very much to all of you guys, as always. This is Andrew saying peace out.